Today's Toy Spot, we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Avengers. This is the comic series Heavy Artillery Iron Man. Iron Man features a plasma claw launcher. That would be the gimmick that is included with this particular figure. Up at the top you can see the cast of the Avengers. Hulk was awesome, by the way, in the Avengers movie. I'm sure by now everybody has seen Avengers probably like 8, 9, 17 times. On the back of the package we have a picture of the figure. Launching missile. Not bad. Other figures that you can get, we have Hawkeye, Thor, and Captain America. There's a read-up down below that says Iron Man's latest invention gathers plasma energy from the environment and focuses it into a blast powerful enough to level any opposition. There you go. What I am going to do is I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this out of package, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Heavy Artillery Iron Man. There's more to come, guys. Stay tuned. Getting the gimmick out of the way right away. He does come with a claw accessory. Just press the lever at the top and it opens and closes these pincers. It's not bad because at least it's not on the figure. It's not part of the figure. He also does come with a missile that you can put inside that little area, like so. Pressing that button again opens the pincers and fires the missile. Bada bing, bada boom. Again, if you were using your imagination, it's kind of a ridiculous gimmick, but you could pretend like it's a weapon, a shield weapon perhaps. That's basically all I did when I was younger. There were these weird things that came with G.I. Joes. I would always make them into some super weapon Cobra was always trying to get. Moving that aside, let's have a look at Iron Man. And I gotta say, okay, first for starters, let's get this right off. Let's discuss this elephant that's in the room. It does look, in fact, to be an exact recast of the Iron Man 2 figure molds. Now, it does, even though it is what looks to be the same mold, and I may or may not be right about that. It is very possible that Spot's completely wrong, and I've just lost all credibility. But it does seem to me like it's the exact same mold. Even though it is the exact same mold, it looks like they've removed. Like, there is no articulation in the waist, in the upper torso. There is no articulation in the wrists. There is still articulation in the forearms. So it kind of looks like they've stripped down some of the parts of articulation that made up some of the Iron Man figures. I guess it's a cost-saving measure. The one thing I do have to say, though, about this figure, that it seems to me, at least, that it paint-wise, it's a much nicer looking figure than some of the Iron Man figures. I find some of the Iron Man figures were good, but I don't know, I think the paint is a lot nicer on this, and for the most part a lot cleaner on this figure than some of the Iron Man figures. Some of the points that indicate here, I think his mask is done really, really well. The detailing on his mask is quite nice. It's a nice dark red that they've gone with, and then they've got the gold faceplate. You got the gold and the silver there in the upper arms of the armor. Of course, that same bright red carries all the way through the armor as well. You can see he's even got his. Unfortunately, he can't rotate the wrist, which is kind of a downside. But you see the blue there in the hands, as well as in his chest area here. Very similar, of course, to the Iron Man figures from before, so there's nothing really different about those. The one thing I've commented on already, it's a shame really that the Avengers figures didn't come with display stands. That would have been nice, it would have been a nice added touch. Sadly, we don't get any display stands with these figures. In the way of Iron Man's articulation, he has that same ball joint in the head as the other Iron Man figures initially had. He has what looks to be a pin and socket shoulder, rotates all the way around, in and out. He does have a rotation at least in the arm and a bend in the arm. Nothing in the hand. Nothing in the upper torso, which is a shame. Nothing in the waist. And then he's got that weird swivel, that pin and socket here. As you can see, the pin is, well, the socket is on the side right now, so the legs can move out. And luckily, oh, hey, look at that. They've actually made it. Have they actually improved this? The legs do move out as well as back and forth. Pretty sure the original Iron Man figures did not have that. You had to do that rotation, rotate it in the front, move the legs forward, move the legs back, rotate it again to move them sideways. He does have this swivel in the legs, a bend at the knee, rotation in the legs, nothing though in the feet. So looks like there are some improvements and then some, I don't want to say shortcuts, but still, all things considered, it's not a bad figure. Now here's the problem I have. Here's Spot's one glaring problem, and you guys can let me know down below. It's not a bad figure. I like the paint on it. The gimmick is, it's all right. It's not silly, but it's all right. These figures were on sale. I got this Iron Man. I think normally they were about $10 at Toys R Us where I found it. I ended up paying about $8.97. I think $8.67, $8.97. Now, having said that, right next door, right literally next door on the pegs, were still Iron Man 2 figures that Toys R Us was trying to clear out. Now, looking at this figure and then looking at the figure next to it from the Iron Man 2, the Iron Man 2 figures were clearanced at around $4. So really, my problem is, I don't know if I can really justify saying get this figure when you pretty much have the exact same figures next door to them for like, you know, over half off. You know, again, it's hard to also tell a parent that who the kid wants Iron Man and she sees Iron Man 2 figures right next door, clearanced, and it looks like the exact same figure. Now that I can't really blame the toy manufacturer for that, because I'm sure they're just trying to produce current toy lines to meet whatever is big right now in the theaters, or you know, whatever's big in the comics going on. But from a retail end of it, I don't know, maybe they should have marked these down a little further, or perhaps if there was a chance that Iron Man 2 figures were still around, maybe they should have given us something different with this Iron Man that we hadn't already found before in a previous line. And that could have been easily like removable armor, maybe a faceplate that could have come up, something different to justify getting this guy brand new versus clearanced Iron Man next door. Ooh, almost for a second sounded like that was going to be a Spot's Thought rant. But you guys can let me know down below. How do you guys feel? Like, is this a figure you would get? Or would you just be inclined to get an Iron Man 2 clearanced figure next to it? Let the debate begin. Still like the paint. The paint's pretty good. The figure as a whole is pretty good. Iron Man here, I am going to give... Ooh, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. I might give Iron Man here, overall, I might give him a 7. But again, I really have to debate with myself whether I would have suggested get this figure, or again, get the one clearanced next to him. At any rate, today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Avengers Heavy Artillery Iron Man. I thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.